I have been probing about in my memory for a case similar to this one, and I really don't think I have personal experience of one. I mean a case where a husband is charged with, in effect, kidnapping and raping his own wife.
We married in 1968. We separated in December 1971, and I saw him 4 times after that. The last time was in July of last year.
When you and the defendant separated in December 1971, did either of you obtain a legal separation?
No.
Miss Cutforth, why did you go to Elm Court, the marital home, on that night?
To talk about my maintenance. I'd written to him and he hadn't answered. So when I saw him that night, I thought it would be a good opportunity to ask him about it. He said, "Come down to Shepingham and we'll talk about it in the morning."
That was the only reason that you went there, to talk about maintenance?
Yes.
Now, you've told us that you arrived there at the house at 2:30 in the morning. What happened when you got there?
All the servants had gone to bed. I went up to my old rooms.
Now, did you sleep alone?
Naturally.
Was this something that you were agreed about?
There was no question of agreeing or disagreeing. I made that perfectly plain to him.
What occurred the following morning?
I woke up at about midday to find him in my room, pulling at my bedclothes.
Yes, then what happened?
I asked him what he was doing.
What did he say?
He said he just wanted to look at me. I pushed him away and sat up.
Then what happened?
I got up and rang for the maid.
Did she come?
No. He said no one would come because he told them not to answer the bell. He said that if I told him what I wanted, he'd bring me breakfast.
What did you do?
I said he could countermand his orders to the servants. I also told him what I wanted and he went out.
Did your husband bring any breakfast?
Yes, he brought me a tray, but he didn't give it to me. He put it on the floor. Then he sat on my bed again and tried to kiss me.
What happened when your husband tried to kiss you?
I told him to behave himself and to ring for the maid so that I could get dressed.
What did he say?
He said that he wanted to look after me himself. I asked him to go so that I could get dressed in peace.
Did he reply?
He said that I could get dressed if I wanted, but that I wasn't going anywhere. He said that the door was locked, and he showed me the key.
Yes, which door?
The door onto the landing from the reception.
So what did you do?
I asked him what he meant by it, and he made some sort of impassioned plea about wanting me. And then he said he wasn't letting me go until he'd made love to me.
Had you any doubt about what he meant by that?
None whatever. He meant intercourse.
What did you do when he said that?
I took a shower.
Forgive me, why?
I always do when I get up.
You didn't answer him?
No, I thought the best thing to do was to keep calm and take no notice of him.
Yes. Well, when you'd had your shower and returned to the bedroom, was your husband still there?
Yes. I was wearing a bathrobe. He came up to me and tried to pull me to him. I pushed him away.
And then?
Then he said he really meant it. It was horrible. He was quite serious. I was frightened. Then he went out and locked the door.
How did you know that he'd locked the door?
I tried it. I banged on it. But none of the servants came.
Did you consider any way of escaping?
Yes, I thought of the windows.
You say you thought of the windows, but you said earlier that there was a 12 or 15-foot drop to the ground. Were you as desperate as that?
Yes, my lord. I knew he meant it, and I hadn't told anyone I was going to Elm Court.
How long was it before your husband came back?
He came back at about 6 o'clock. He asked me if I was hungry. I said I wasn't. Then he poured himself a drink from the cocktail cabinet.
There was a cocktail cabinet in your bedroom?
No, my lord, in the reception.
Did you ask him to let you go?
Yes, I told him to stop being a fool and let me go.
And he said?
Fair deals, you give me what I want, I'll let you go.
He said, fair deals, you give me what I want, I'll let you go. And did you give him what he wanted?
No, not then.
But you did at some time. When?
The following day, the next afternoon.
But did you see him before that, in the morning?
Yes, he brought me breakfast again. I begged him to let me go. I'd hardly slept all that night. I looked a fright.
Were you upset?
Very.
You cried?
Yes. Yes, I did.
What did he say?
He said, "You're costing me £7,000 a year."
Grand.
Yes, my lord, it means 1,000. He always used that word.
I see. Thank you. Go on, please.
He said, "You're costing me £7,000 a year. What am I getting for it? You're not getting out of here without... you know what."
Meaning intercourse.
Yes, my lord.
What did you say?
I told him to go to hell.
And he left the room?
Yes.
You said you thought of trying to escape through the windows. Did you try to do so?
Yes.
When?
The following morning, after he'd gone out.
Was there any reason, apart from the 12 or 15-foot drop, why you couldn't escape?
Yes, the windows were screwed up.
Screwed up?
Yes.
Whilst you were locked in, did you try to ring the bell at all?
Yes, no one came.
Was there no telephone in your rooms?
No, when I lived there, I had the telephone removed.
So, on the second morning that you were at Elm Court, you begged to be allowed to go, and he refused. Now, what happened in the afternoon?
When he came back at about 4 o'clock, I said it would be all right if he promised to let me go afterwards.
Then what happened?
He got very excited. Drew the curtains, put a record on the record player, got some champagne out of the fridge.
Fridge? Do you have a refrigerator in your bedroom?
No, my lord, in the sitting room.
What did you do?
I got undressed and lay on the bed.
And did you make love?
Love is hardly the word, my lord.
Did you act willingly?
No,
Why did you permit him?
because he promised to let me go. I've already told you that, my lord.
What happened afterwards?
I just lay there. I felt humiliated. Then he got up and went out. I suppose finally I must have fallen asleep because when I woke up it was 9 o'clock at night.
Yes, what did you do when you woke up?
I tried the door.
And what did you find?
It was still locked.
Did he come back to your room?
Yes, he came back sometime in the evening. He woke me up again. He seemed changed at first. He apologized. He said he couldn't control himself, that he loved me.
How were you feeling at this time, Miss Cutforth?
Very strange. Dizzy. I'd hardly eaten all that time. I was very confused.
Yes. And what did you do? Miss Cutforth, I appreciate how difficult this is for you, but will you please try to go on?
Because I believed him, I let him do it again.
Why did you believe him when he'd already gone back on his word once?
He seemed so pitiful. And I suppose I felt sorry for him.
And did your husband honor his word this time and let you go?
No.
No. So then?
Then I told him what I really thought of him. When I finished, he hit me several times in the face.
He hit you several times in the face. Yes. And then?
He called me names. I'd prefer not to repeat them. Then suddenly he threw the key at me and told me to get out.
And what did you do?
I unlocked the door of the reception room and ran onto the landing where I found Beamish.
Beamish?
The butler, my lord.
What was he doing there?
I've no idea, my lord.
Did your husband thereafter allow you to leave Elm Court?
Yes, I went to my father's. I told him what had happened.
Thank you, Miss Cutforth. Will you just wait there, please?
Why do you call yourself by your maiden name instead of by your married name, Mrs. Scard?
We're separated. I'd prefer not to use his name.
When did you stop using his name, then? Well, Mrs. Scard?
I've never used it.
Exactly, so I will call you Miss Cutforth. But the interesting question is why you've never used it.
We're living in the 1970s, you know. There's no law about it.
It's not a professional name, then?
No.
I thought not, because I noticed you didn't tell us what your profession is.
Is that a question?
If you would like to tell us what your profession is, yes.
I don't have one.
Then what do you live on?
Maintenance from my husband.
How much does he pay you?
£7,000 a year.
Before or after tax?
After tax.
£7,000 a year, spending money. Since your husband never failed to pay you that money, what was there to discuss about it then?
The amount. It wasn't enough.
Miss Cutforth, do you love your husband?
I despise him.
Indeed. And you always did, didn't you? Even before you married him.
No, but I would have done if I knew what he was capable of.
But you didn't love him when you married him, did you?
I believed I did.
And you despised his friends and everything he stood for except his money.
That's not true.
Well, let's see now. During the years you lived together, how many friends visited Elm Court?
I've no idea. Hundreds.
Your friends?
Certainly.
How many of those were your husbands?
Well, there were streams of business contacts, of course.
I mean friends, Miss Cutforth.
5 or 6, perhaps.
So few out of those hundreds?
They felt out of place. They knew it.
He had 3 special friends, didn't he, from his childhood? Alfie and Clive Jones and Sid Barnett, whom he'd made directors of some of his companies. They only went to Elm Court once during your marriage because you told your husband you didn't want to see them there again, didn't you?
No, they felt out of place. I invited them, but they didn't come.
Your husband wanted children, didn't he?
We both did.
Yet you had none. You say you wanted them too?
Yes.
I have to suggest to you, Miss Cutforth, that you constantly stated you didn't want children and took unilateral precautions not to have them.
That's not true. I told you I wanted children.
Very well. I can't take that any further. When did you first meet your husband?
About the end of 1966.
Could it have been as early as September?
Yes, I think it was.
Now, Miss Cutforth, I want to deal with the financial aspect of your marriage. Your father, Sir Peter Cutforth, manages the family business, doesn't he? Cutforth's, the private bank. And at about the end of 1966, the bank got into difficulties, didn't it?
I wouldn't know about that.
Oh, yes, you would, because it was you who saved the family bank, wasn't it? By doing a deal with Mr. Scard that if he loaned your father enough money to tide him over, you would marry him?
That is a monstrous suggestion.
You deny it?
Every word, it's a lie.
And a special feature of the deal was that your father was not to know anything about it, wasn't it?
It's all nonsense.
So you arranged that if Mr. Scard loaned half the money, you would announce the engagement 6 months later, and after that, if he loaned the rest of the money, you would then marry him.
He told you all that. He's an animal.
You deny it?
Emphatically.
After your stay at Elm Court, you went to the police, didn't you?
Yes.
And made a complaint to them, but they would have nothing to do with it, would they?
They said it was a private matter.
So you chose to bring a prosecution of your own. This is a private prosecution, isn't it? Brought and paid for by you.
Yes, it is.
Why didn't you bring a civil action for assault and imprisonment and claim damages?
I'm not interested in money.
Oh? I thought you were. So you're bringing a private prosecution so as to hurt Robert Scard as badly as you can.
What he did was criminal, that's why.
You've told us you went to Elm Court because you wanted more money.
Yes, more maintenance. I've already told you that.
But it wasn't expressed like that, was it? Your husband suggested a reconciliation, and you played along because you wanted more money.
He knew there could be no possibility of a reconciliation ever.
But one of your terms for this fresh start was not that you should just be financially independent, but an enormously rich woman in your own right. And when you couldn't get your own way, you threatened to bring a charge of rape against him and to get him off the boards of all his companies.
That's the first I've heard of it.
And that's just what you're doing, isn't it? Carrying out your threat.
I have no re-examination, my lord.
Very well. Thank you, Miss Cutforth.
I call Sir Peter Cutforth. You are the father of Miss Cutforth, the complainant?
Yes.
Did you see your daughter in October of last year?
Yes, several times, but I expect you want to know about October the 7th.
Yes.
I was woken up a little before 1 in the morning by the doorbell. I found Serena outside. She asked if she could stay the night. She looked exhausted and extremely upset about something.
You noticed her appearance?
Well, what caught my attention was that she had no makeup on.
Now, will you just answer this question, yes or no? Did she say if anything was the matter?
I asked, and at first she wouldn't say a word. However, when I'd cooked her something to eat, made up a bed for her, it all came out.
So she did say what was the matter?
Yes.
It was a complaint against someone?
Yes.
What sort of state was she in when she told you this?
She was crying. Next day, at my insistence, we went round to the local police station to make a complaint. But for some reason best known to them, they advised her to take up the matter with her solicitors.
Have you seen your daughter upset before? I mean, in the way in which she was upset that night?
Of course, when she was a little girl, but not since she's grown up. She's really a very self-possessed young woman.
Yes, thank you.
Well, we might as well have it out in the open. What did your daughter tell you that night?
She said that Robert had kept her locked up and had taken her against her will.
Now, Sir Peter, you have worked in the city for many years?
That's correct, yes.
And it's right, isn't it, that Mr. Scard enjoys the highest reputation in the city, both for his ability and his integrity?
Oh, yes, indeed. He's not one of the new pack of compulsive asset strippers.
Right, and it's right also that you have done business with Mr. Scard.
Cutforth's Bank, you mean? Yes.
Would you like to tell the court about it?
It was towards the end of 1966. The bank had a slight liquidity problem. We needed a bridging loan.
Your slight liquidity problem, a shortage of hard cash.
Yes,
How much was the loan you wanted?
£5 million. We had ample security for it.
And that was when you approached Robert Scard.
As a matter of fact, we approached a number of people, but we approached the Bow Investment Trust, that's Mr. Scard's, about the beginning of December, 66. First, he wasn't interested. But in January 67, he came back, and the loan was agreed. In two parts, $2 million to be paid in February and a further $3 million the following September. I may add that we've all done very well out of this piece of mutual cooperation.
Yes. Now, one of the terms for this agreement was that Mr. Scard could nominate a director to the board of Cutforth's Bank, and he did that, didn't he?
Yes.
And that director is still with you as Mr. Scard's nominee?
Yes, Alfie Jones.
Now, you first met Mr. Scard at the end of 1966.
Yes. Well, that's right. I hadn't met him before.
But your daughter announced her engagement in July 1967. Did that come as a surprise to you?
Yes, it did.
Why was that now?
Well, for one thing, she'd been more or less unofficially engaged to another chap for some time, and so far as I knew, that was still going on. And I didn't know that she even knew Robert.
I suppose you asked her when she met him.
Yes, I gathered that they met in July of 67 at a house party at Hydra in Greece.
A swift engagement, then?
Yes, but not a shotgun marriage.
No, of course not. No children at all. I suppose you saw a lot of Mr. Scard after the engagement?
Of course. I came to respect him as much as she did.
She respected him?
Oh, yes. He was, after all, 15 years her senior.
Do you think he loved her?
Oh, I don't think anybody could doubt that. He was absolutely mad about her. He'd have done anything for her.
And did you have a close relationship with your daughter?
Yes, we were always extremely close. Ever since her mother died when Serena was 7. I would do anything for her.
And she for you?
Yes, I believe so.
Thank you, Sir Peter.
Sir Peter, I want you to take your time and answer this question carefully. Is there any truth whatsoever in the suggestion that your daughter agreed to marry Mr. Scard as a condition for the bridging loan of £5 million,
Mr.
do you?
Harvesty, I don't think
understand.
that
Look, how could anybody suggest such a thing?
No, it isn't I, but the defence who've been suggesting it throughout
But
your
it's impossible.
cross-examination.
Why, she hadn't even met him until after the loan was agreed.
Her evidence is that she had.
But, my
Now,
lord,
don't worry, Peter. Mr. Harvesty, it has never been suggested that this witness was a party to the supposed deal, or that he even knew about it, so you cannot ask him about it.
Very well, my lord. I have no further questions.
Thank you, Sir Peter. You may go.
I call Harold Arthur Beamish. You are Mr. Scard's butler and have been, I believe, for 8 years.
Yes, sir.
You are still employed by Mr. Scard?
Yes, my lord.
Do you come here of your own free will?
I have been subpoenaed, my lord.
Were you at Elm Court on the 5th, 6th and 7th of October of last year?
Yes, sir, I was.
Tell the court, please, what happened.
Mr. Scard came home rather late, about 2:30 in the morning. I had waited up for him in case he should want anything. Madam was with him, sir.
Did that surprise you?
Yes. They had been separated for almost a year, sir.
Then what happened?
Then we all retired to our respective beds. The next morning I saw Mr. Scard. He said that Madam was very tired and would be resting for a couple of days. He said that he would take her meals and that none of the servants was to go near her rooms.
Were you surprised by that?
Yes. Mr. Scard never gave orders at Elm Court.
Orders? Who ran the household, fixed the time of meals and so on?
Madam did, my lord.
Yes, but she wasn't there for the first 4 years of your service, nor the last year. When she wasn't there, who ran the house?
I did, my lord.
Did you see Mr. Scard take up food to his wife's rooms?
Yes, sir.
Did he also take up food for himself?
No, sir, I served him in his study downstairs.
When did you next see Mrs. Scard?
On the 7th, sir, at about 9 p.m. I was on the landing, just passing Madam's rooms, when quite suddenly she burst out of the door.
Did you notice anything about her appearance?
Oh, yes, sir. She was breathing heavily and seemed very frightened. Her nightdress was torn and there was blood about her mouth.
Did she say anything?
Not at once. Mr. Scard came out the door after her, shouting.
Shouting? What?
He was swearing at her, sir. He said, "A gangbang would be too good for you." Madam said, "He's mad." I then suggested that Madam should go to my room, and then I borrowed some clothes for her from one of the maids.
Why did you suggest that she should go to your room? To protect her from Mr. Scard?
Oh, no, sir. Mr. Scard did not offer her any violence in my presence. But Madam's nightdress was of a rather revealing nature. It did not conceal as much as some nightdresses do. Might have...
You mean it was transparent?
Yes, my lord. And also, when Madam asked if she might go back into her rooms to collect her clothes, Mr. Scard replied, "No, you effing cannot." Then he went back into her rooms, locking Madam out, sir.
Did you subsequently do some detective work?
Yes, sir. The day after Madam left, I went into her rooms. I found that the windows had been screwed up and that the bell was not working. Oh, and I also found that the wire had been cut under the carpet.
Do you know when the windows had been screwed up?
No, sir. The last occasion I had to open the windows, which would be some 3 months before, there were no screws then. In fact, the windows opened very easily.
I see. Thank you.
I have no cross-examination, my lord.
That is the case for the prosecution, my lord.
My lord, I have a submission to make.
Yes, Mr. Cross. What is it?
My lord, my submission is that in law, a husband cannot be charged with the imprisonment or the rape of his wife, that is, where they are not legally separated. Therefore, I submit there is no case to answer, my lord.
The case of the Queen against Scard will be resumed tomorrow in the Crown Court. Yesterday in Fulchester Crown Court, Robert Scard, a self-made multimillionaire, was charged with kidnapping and raping his wife Serena. After hearing evidence from his wife, Sir Peter Cutforth, Serena's father, and Scard's butler Beamish, the defence counsel, Mr. Cross, rose to make a startling submission to the court.
Mr. Cross, you have a submission to make.
Yes, my lord. As I indicated last night, my submission is that a husband cannot be charged with the unlawful imprisonment or the rape of his wife, at least where there is no legal separation. And as the prosecution evidence shows that neither Miss Cutforth nor her husband, Mr. Scard, are either divorced or legally separated, consequently, there is no case to answer, my lord.
Yes, I will take some persuading that that proposition of the law is correct. What do you say is the principle behind it?
Unity, my lord. The doctrine that the bond between husband and wife is such that the wife is bound to cohabit with her husband and bound to have intercourse with him.
Are you saying that in this day and age a woman cannot refuse to have intercourse with her husband?
I am, my lord, where there is no legal
Oh,
separation.
no, Mr. Cross. That is no good. The law is not as primitive as that. And besides, there is a recent decision against you so far as unlawful imprisonment is concerned. The case of Reed is against you.
Well, I accept that, my lord, but the case of Miller is for me as far as rape is concerned.
I have it here, Mr. Cross. And in my opinion, that decision was a bad one when it was made 20 years ago, and I think it is even worse now, and I will not follow it.
Oh, my lord, you are bound by the decision. The decision was that of the High Court judge on assize, and, of course, you are a High Court judge, but are merely sitting in the crown.
Mr. Cross, I am perfectly well aware of who I am and where I am without you telling me, and I will not follow that decision. It is a monster, and it is no good you trying to bully me into submission by citing a lot of authorities. You're wasting your time.
Very well, my lord. I see that I can take the matter no further.
No, you cannot. I'm sorry if I appear abrupt, but I think it's a very silly decision. And I mean the one in the case of Regina versus Miller, not mine.
Very well, my lord. I call the accused.
What is your religion?
Church of England.
Take the book in your right hand and read aloud the words on the card.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Mr. Scard, what is your full name?
Robert John Scard.
Where do you live?
Most of the time I live at Elm Court, Sheppingham.
You were married to Serena Cutforth in the spring of 1968. Would you tell the court how that marriage came about?
Well, we met in the autumn of 1966, September-like. I thought she was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. Not that I thought any more of it at the time, seeing what she was and what I was.
So you didn't think of inviting her out or anything?
It never crossed my mind, no more than inviting Bridget Bardot out.
Because you thought she was a different class from you.
Well, that and looking the way she does.
Did you see her again at the end of 1966?
Yes, we kept bumping into each other in odd places like charity dues and so on. She seemed to take a bit more interest in me and, well, in the end I fell for her.
And how did the engagement come about?
Well, I'd been taking her out a bit, and then she brought up this business about a loan to her dad. Well, she knew I wouldn't agree. So we made a deal. I know I must have been mad at the time. The deal was $2 million to her father's bank in February 1967, the engagement to be announced 5 months later in July, another $3 million to Dad in September, and marriage in the spring of 1968.
Did her father know?
Not on your life. That's why all the delays were built in, like, so it wouldn't look like me coughing up the money had anything to do with the marriage.
Tell me, Mr. Scard, was it a good investment?
Oh, yes, it's gone all right, my lord. I put my mate Alfred Jones on the board, and Cutforth is as right as rain. It's the fastest expanding merchant bank in the city now.
I see, thank you.
Mr. Scard, you separated in December 1971. How did that separation come about?
Oh, things had been difficult for a long time. And I wanted to go on, but I just wanted to be given a chance, that's all. But I must admit, things were pretty bad. Well, anyway, one day she came to me and she said, "Let's face it, Robert, it won't work, will it? We're incompatible." So I had to admit that things were pretty bad. They couldn't go on as they were, so she said she couldn't go on, and that was that. Afterwards, I found out she had a fancy man. That's why she left.
You say you discovered she was having an affair.
After she'd left, I found out.
Tell us what had been wrong with the marriage, Mr. Scard.
Everything. She weren't interested in me. I didn't know that at the time, but she just weren't interested in me at all.
Did you and she share the same friends?
No. After the marriage, I started losing my friends one by one, except those that were in business with me. She just never made them welcome. The house was always full of her kind of folk. I was only good enough to pay the bloody bills.
And what was her attitude to having children?
She wouldn't.
Did that upset you very much?
Yes. I should explain that my dad was killed in the war, and my mother died when I was quite young. I've always wanted a family, some relatives.
Why did you invite your wife to Elm Court that night, the night of October the 5th?
Well, I was that in love with her, I wanted her to come back.
You wanted to try a reconciliation after all that had happened?
Yes.
And your wife agreed to discuss it with you?
Yes, I said to come to Sheppingham for a couple of days and we'll talk it over.
Why did you keep the servants away from her and take food to her yourself?
Well, because I'm soft, I suppose you could say, but I wanted to do something personal for her, but besides writing out checks, to be alone with her, show her that two people could be happy together without servants.
Did you discuss the reconciliation?
Yes, when I took her breakfast on the morning of the 6th. I said to her, well, how about it, lass? Let's make a go of it. And she asked me what I was going to do about it, because it took two people to make a marriage go.
Yes, go on.
Well, then she said she was tired and she wanted to sleep some more, and I should wake her up that evening.
And did you?
Yes, and we talked some more. And then she said that I didn't love her, that she was just my status symbol. I tried to convince her, but she said that if I really loved her, I wouldn't be so mean. She was always carping on about money. Lord knows I gave her enough.
And then what happened?
Well, then I asked her if I could get into bed with her, and she said she wasn't interested and to go away.
And did you?
Yes.
Did you lock her in?
No.
At any time?
No, my lord.
What did you do then?
Well, I had some jewellery in the flat in London, which I knew she liked. She'd seen it when we were married and I'd bought it, and before I had a chance to give it to her, we'd broken up. So I drove to London to get it.
Drove to London? That's a 3-hour drive each way.
Yes, my lord.
And you got the jewellery. May Mr. Scard see Exhibits 1 and 2, please? Let's just look at Exhibit 1, shall we? Would you open that, Mr. Scard? Is that one of the things you fetched?
Yes.
And did you give it to her?
Yes, I did, on the morning of the 7th.
And was she pleased?
Yes, she seemed to be. She kissed me, and I tried to get into bed with her, and she said not until after lunch.
Did you make love to her after lunch?
Yes.
And did you spend the afternoon with her?
Yes.
You make love to her again?
Yes.
Did you give her anything else?
Yes, a bracelet.
May Mr. Scard see Exhibit 2, please? Is that the bracelet?
Yes, it is.
Did you give it to her before or after you'd made love to her?
Before.
Now, after you'd finished making love, what happened?
Well, she went to sleep for a while, and then we talked about the reconciliation.
Please go on, Mr. Scard.
Well, she said that she didn't always want to be asking me for money, and that she would only come back if I gave her shares and made her independent.
Did she say how much she needed to be independent?
Yes, my lord. She said she wanted £1 million. That's when we started quarrelling. I wanted to be strong for once. I wouldn't agree. We argued all afternoon. In the end, I said I wasn't interested in giving her that kind of money, that she was selling herself.
And how did it all end?
Well, she explained to me very carefully that if I didn't give her the money, she would have me charged with rape and kick me when it hurt me most by getting me off the boards of all my companies.
Would you like to tell the court how that could come about?
Well, it's very simple, really. The Articles of Association of most of my large companies forbid anyone with a criminal record from being a director. She's got a very good brain, Serena.
So that if you are convicted, you can no longer take part in the management of your companies.
Yes, my lord.
And what was your answer to this threat?
Well, I said I wouldn't agree to such a thing, that I was brought up to be decent. And what happened then is the only part of her evidence which was true. She said to me that I had no conception of what the word decency meant, that I disgusted her because I was an animal, and she used the word animal over and over again.
You would disagree with that description, Mr. Scard?
I'm rough in my manners, my lord. My wife is a well-brought-up, cultured woman, I've always been told. There's nothing more I can say.
And how did the quarrel end?
I hit her and told her to get out for good.
One more question, Mr. Scard. Do you still love your wife?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Scard, you told us that your wife married you as part of a business deal, that she treated you badly throughout the marriage, and then left you for another man. Are you now trying to tell us that you were seeking a reconciliation?
It's true.
Oh, come now, Mr. Scard. You invited her to Elm Court because you wanted sex with her, come what may. And as a pretext for getting her there, you said you'd discuss maintenance with her, didn't you?
I wanted to make love to her, yes, the same as I'd wanted to make love to her every night of the 3 years we were married.
And it was just for that you invited her there.
I told you I love my wife.
That jewellery with which you say you bribed your wife to have sexual intercourse, when did you buy it?
I can't remember the exact date.
Oh, then perhaps you have receipts. That would help us to fix the date.
I don't have them.
Why not, Mr. Scard? Your solicitors told your wife's solicitors that you had them and would produce them.
I can't find them.
Mr. Scard, you didn't bring them because you knew that they'd show that you'd bought those jewels not just before the marriage broke up in December 1971, but in August of 1971 when you and your wife were still living together.
No, that is not true.
Because you did buy them in August of 1971 and you gave them to her then, didn't you?
No, that is not true.
You say you've lost those receipts.
Yes, my lord.
It's a fact, isn't it, that you didn't get on with your wife's friends?
That's a fact.
And your marriage broke down because you couldn't provide your wife with what she most needed, cultural, intelligent companionship. You had nothing in common, did you?
My marriage broke down because she never loved me in the slightest. Because she never had any interest in me or of making a go of it, and in the end she got a fancy man.
Oh, come now, Mr. Scard, that's absolute nonsense, isn't it? Have you ever caught her with another man? She's always with a group of friends, isn't she?
She probably sleeps with all of them for all I know.
You say that because she, like her friends, rejected you. She was the first thing you wanted which you couldn't get.
I don't know what you're getting at.
She was an obsession, wasn't she? You had to have her one way or the other.
No, I told you I love her.
So you lured her to
I wanted her to
You
live with
lured
me.
her to Elm Court on the pretext of discussing her maintenance with her, having first made sure that once she was there she couldn't escape, by screwing up the windows and cutting off the wires to the bells in the rooms.
I cut the bells, yes.
Why?
Well, because I wanted to be alone with her and not having to press in the bell every 5 minutes and having a servant carry a box of matches across the room.
And the windows?
I didn't do anything to the windows.
Then who did?
What is your occupation, Miss Atkins?
I'm an housemaid.
Were you employed at Elm Court in that capacity on October the 7th of last year?
Yes, sir, I was.
Now, I'd like you to think back and answer this question. Did you on that date notice anything which you would deem out of the ordinary?
Yes, sir, I did.
Would you like to tell the court what that was?
Well, it happened while I was on in the evening. I was sorting out china in the kitchen when Mr. Beamish come in all breathless and said...
No, my lord.
Quite so, Mr. Harvester. Miss Atkins, I'm afraid you are not allowed to tell us what Mr. Beamish said.
Did he say something had happened?
Yes.
I don't think my learned friend will object to this. He asked you to lend Madam some clothes?
Yes, but he wouldn't say why.
Go on.
Well, we had a bit of an argument and I went upstairs. Mr. Beamish insisted on coming with me to check the clothes, to make sure they were quite suitable for Madam to wear, he said. He wouldn't take the first things I got out. Finally we, or I should say he, chose a blouse, a sweater, a pair of my slacks and some sandals. Her feet were much larger than mine. Then we went upstairs to Mr. Beamish's room. Well, you could have knocked me over with a feather duster when I found Madam in there, wearing one of those see-through things. Anyway, I gave her the clothes and she puts them on and floats off without even a word of thanks. A couple of minutes later, I heard her car drive off.
Did Mrs. Scard say anything?
Well, I said to her I was sorry because we were all hoping for a reconciliation. And she said, it's difficult to reconcile yourself to living with a beast.
Now, are you quite sure she said that?
Yes, sir.
During the period between the early hours of October the 6th and the evening of the 7th, while Mrs. Scard was still at Elm Court, did you notice anything or hear anything which would suggest to you that she was being ill-treated in any way?
Only the bruise on her face, and her lip was bleeding a bit.
One more question, Miss Atkins. Have your clothes been returned to you?
No, not yet. I wouldn't want to wear them now anyway.
Thank you.
A moment, Mr. Harvester, please. Miss Atkins, do you know who screwed up the windows in Mrs. Scard's bedroom?
Well, the only thing I can think of, Your Worship, is perhaps one of the burglar alarm men did it.
What burglar alarm men?
Well, at the time there was a lot of toing and froing about the burglar alarms, taking out the old system and putting a new one in. Several times they went before the job was finished.
So do you mean during the changeover someone may have screwed up the windows as a precaution and then forgotten to unscrew them?
It's possible, yes, Your Worship.
I see, thank you.
Did you at any time since these burglar alarm men, as you call them, came to the house, observe any screws in any other windows?
No.
No. No, as I thought. Now, you say that you heard Mrs. Scard say it's difficult trying to reconcile yourself to living with a beast. You apparently are the only one who heard those words.
Well, Mr. Beamish couldn't, could he? He was standing outside in the passage, Madam being in her birthday suit and all.
Tell me, when you heard these words spoken, did you attach any particular importance to them?
No, why should I?
Well, then, how is it that after all this time you can remember them? Now, think carefully, Miss Atkins. You are on oath. Are you absolutely certain in your own mind that she spoke those actual words?
Yes, I am.
Well, you see, Miss Cutforth's evidence is that she said no such thing to you.
Well, I can't help that.
Miss Atkins, another thing you said, that Mr. Beamish, when he asked you first to lend your mistress some clothes, there was an argument. What was that argument about?
Well, no one likes to lend other people their clothes, do they?
Are you sure that's the only reason?
Of course I am.
It's true, isn't it, that you felt a dislike for Miss Cutforth as a person?
Yes.
A strong dislike.
Yes, it's
In
true.
fact, on many occasions, you even said that you could have made Mr. Scard a much better wife than she could. Isn't that right?
Anyone could have made him a better wife than she did.
And now that the marriage has broken down, someone will get that chance.
I have no re-examination, my lord.
Very well, Miss Atkins. You may go.
That concludes the case for the defence, my lord.
Very well. Mr. Harvester?
Members of the jury, one thing at least is clear in this case. Robert Scard, in the context of his marriage, revealed himself to be a brute. The separation, when it came in December of 1971, was hardly surprising. Indeed, what is surprising is that Miss Cutforth lived with that man for as long as she did. 10 months after the separation, Scard lured Miss Cutforth to his remote country house. There, he kept her under lock and key and induced her to have sexual intercourse with him twice, saying that she would not go free until she had done so. The law is that an apparent consent is not a real consent if it is given under duress. Miss Cutforth did not consent to sexual intercourse. She acquiesced under duress. That is rape. Scard says that she wasn't locked up, but her consent was given freely as part of some sordid bargain. He says, in effect, that Miss Cutforth prostituted herself. But members of the jury, the evidence, which was undisputed, was that the windows had been screwed up and the wires operating the bells in the rooms had been cut. The truth is that Serena Cutforth went innocently to Elm Court on the night of the 5th and 6th of October and woke up the next morning to find herself in a cage. Oh, it was by all accounts a gilded cage, but the key was in the possession of a monster. Members of the jury, in my submission, the evidence in this case allows no doubts as to the guilt of the accused, and I ask you to return your verdict accordingly.
Members of the jury, this case turns almost exclusively on the question, who do you believe? Do you believe Miss Cutforth's story that she married for love, separated through incompatibility, was lured back to Elm Court on the pretext of a discussion of maintenance, and there induced to intercourse under the threat of being locked up until she did? Or do you believe Robert Scard's story? He says he married Miss Cutforth as part of the bargain whereby he loaned money into her father's ailing private bank. Part of the bargain was that her father was not to know about it, and that the engagement was not to be announced until 6 months after the first payment of the loan. Now he sees that she never loved him, that she left him, as he subsequently learned, for another man, that they went to Elm Court to effect a reconciliation, that he never locked her up, and that sexual intercourse was consensual, induced not by force, but by gifts which she as good as demanded. Members of the jury, I submit that Robert Scard is neither a monster nor a beast, and that if someone has behaved badly, it is his wife, and I therefore ask you to return a verdict of not guilty.
Now, members of the jury, There are two issues in this case. First, was Miss Cutforth locked up in those rooms as she says she was? Because if she was, then the accused is guilty of unlawful imprisonment. Second, did the acts of sexual intercourse, which it is agreed occurred, take place because she was told that she would not go free until she had submitted to them? Now, rape of a woman is sexual intercourse under duress. Usually this duress is actual physical violence, but any kind of duress will do. In this case, physical violence is not suggested in connection with the sexual intercourse. But if you believe, you may think, Miss Cutforth's story, you may think that there was sufficient violence to amount to duress. I do not propose to go over the evidence or counsel's arguments, but I do ask you to remember that the prosecution must prove their case beyond all reasonable doubt. And now, members of the jury, will you please retire to consider your verdict?
All stand. All stand. Will the foreman please stand? Just answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached a verdict upon which you're all agreed?
Yes.
On the first count of unlawful imprisonment, do you find the accused guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On the second count of rape, do you find the accused guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Next week, our cameras return to watch another leading case in the Crown Court.